Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Tyler, also known as the Ches, and this is Chezzy Tunes, where I try to bring humor and entertainment to the EDM space. And today, we've got some JoeB, one of the most interesting names in the dubstep tear out type space. It's just JoeB, guys. It's JoeB. For a guy named JoeB, he does not make music you would expect a guy named JoeB to make. That's all I'm saying. That's all. It's a misleading name, okay? It's a very misleading name. But I'm very excited because JoeB is just something special. He is wild. Honestly, he has some of the most out of this world intense and creative sound design and rhythm and just power that I've seen in the space. A lot of it doesn't actually click with me because it's almost too weird or too aggressive or too whatever, abnormal. So sometimes it's a bit too much for me to digest. It makes my tummy a little upset, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna return for more. Taco Bell sometimes has a weird effect on my tummy, but I eat that shit at least twice a month because I love it. And I love me some JoeB as well. But JoeB put out a little showcase, just a nearly 16-minute mix full of a bunch of work in progress JoeB tunes. And I'm gonna check them out and hopefully survive till the end. Before we get started, a quick reminder that I do have a Discord as well as a Patreon. If that is something that interests you, you can connect with others, get early access to my videos, uncut versions of my reactions, and bonus content every single month. Links in the description. But let's do this thing. I haven't reacted to JoeB since near the beginning of this channel, so it's time to do it again. Potent and Purified, Volume 2. Reminds me of the Godzilla theme song. This first one, I guess, is called... I can't actually pronounce it, so never mind. God! Yeah, we're here. JoeB is here. I forgot we're not gonna have any time to like breathe for this whole thing. It's like a monster. It's like a physical being. Lives in the music and is trying to get out. It's wild. JoeB's music almost isn't for casual consumption. It's too intense at times. All right, well, that was the first one that I can't really pronounce, but now we're moving into Apey or Bakey. Oh, all the build-ups have me scared, man, because you never know what he's gonna do other than just blow your eardrums, but in a good way. Ooh, I like that bass. Very guttural. And I do like how all the names of them are what people just randomly name their projects. Most of them don't make any sense. Oh, what was that little noise? This one's creative. I think this one's more creative than the first, but I enjoyed the first one more. A very unique sound, but not one that I'm really vibing with for this long. I actually need to turn my headphones down a little bit. All right, we're moving into Power Drive. A relatively generic title. Is it going to be a generic song? My guess would be no. I'll admit a lot of JoeB's intros aren't that interesting, even in his full-length tracks. There's not a whole lot usually going on. And not that I'm expecting crazy intros from a showcase like this, but the focus is always on the drops, that's for sure. No, this one reminds me of another song of his. This one might be Froobsy in nature, if I'm recalling Froobs well enough. Feels like a cousin to Froobs. And so far, we're decreasing in my overall enjoyment. This is my least favorite so far. But now we're moving into arguably the best named one. Faphology. I like that. I like faphology. I don't know what that is. Hopefully it's not something bad. The study of faff. I mean, I would be a faphologist, probably, depending on how the song goes. He's got the really good stabs and just when it's like real metallic-y, bumpy beat, like that little boom, 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 boom. That's where he shines. That's where he shines the most for me. Because those hit your ears in such a good way. All right, now we're Sing Red. That one was just fine. That one was okay. First one's still been my favorite though. Really front-loaded, and that first drop really smacks you. Punches the hell out of you. Those what you're getting, you know what you're getting into for sure. Oh, I really like that snare or clap thing. But again, a guy named JoeB. Hi, I'm JoeB. And then this is what you make? JoeB sounds like some dude in high school that's part of an a cappella group. Not that there's anything wrong with being an a cappella group. Being in an a cappella group is awesome, but it's the total opposite of this. Next, we're Diamond Head. Let's go. Okay. Yeah, like that sustain there for a second. Yeah. That's my, might be my second favorite, third favorite potentially. Somewhere in that range. Up there. Oh. Yeah, I'm vibing with this one. It's also a little longer than the other ones. Got the most time to digest the variety. Also, JoeB, I'm going to criticize your little artwork there. Why'd you choose a red font? You can barely read it. Well, I'm also I have trouble with certain colors. I'm partially colorblind, so maybe it's just me that has trouble reading it, but I don't know. The text is not the most legible. All right, next we're moving into head loss. I'm going to lose my head to this one. Oh. Okay. The sustain's fine, but I like the underneath deeper synth that's accompanying it. I like the fills, the switch between the bars. That's a cool noise. I'm not a fan of the main focus here though. All his best moments are the ones that come from the gut. All right, we're moving into Copper Chops. It's a cool name as well. See, again, intros. What is this? Barely an intro. It's just padding. We're just waiting for the drop. Excuse me. Choking or something. This main kind of synth, I feel like he's utilizing a very similar sound in multiple tracks. I mean, it's tweaked a little bit. It's definitely not an identical synth, but it's a very similar style. All right, now we go into Vanilla Fudge.
At 4 o'clock, this is Vanilla Fudge.
Like this is, on a technical level, this is really impressive. Like the sound design is obviously absurd, but it's like, because it's very hard to put it into words, but I feel like a lot of people can understand what I'm just saying, or going to say, is that it's almost too chaotic that you almost become numb to it. There's certain sounds that are mixed in a way that, yeah, they come closer to your ears. I like it. Okay, now we're getting ready for Mr. Noisy. Sounds like a somewhat friendly paralysis demon. Yeah, a slightly friendly sleep paralysis demon. Oh no, it's Mr. Noisy, here he comes. Okay, there's some diversity. Very minimal percussion in here. And I don't know what these letters stand for. TWNFDM. What? Ah! Whoa! Okay. I was gonna say, I don't find this too great, but that part's cool. Takes me on a journey. Okay. Next is Being Dead. It's really hard to give my thoughts and opinions when it's this. Bop, 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 bop. So I think we're just gotta sum it all up at the end. Oh. Yeah. I can't imitate these noises. It's so unique. He's basically paved his own genre here. All right, next is Waggles, another solid name. Top 3 or 4 names. Looks like this one's just kind of a little beat, a little hip hop beat. I don't understand what this one was. That was weird. Okay, sure. Next we go into Glow Up with Ellie Derp. Another artist that I'm familiar with, but don't know how their name is properly pronounced. Kind of have an intro here though, which I assume is Ellie Derp's. They did it, most of it, since it's not really JoeB's focus usually. So let's see, a collab. I'm interested. Here we go. Very, very different. Mixing on this part's a little strange. Feels a little odd. It's a little messy. All right, and the final track doesn't even have a name, I guess. It's just ID, unless that is the name. The name is ID. That'd be pretty meta. Whoa. This is really satisfying for the ears. Something's tickling over here, something's back here, something comes up front. It's really everywhere. Surrounds you. Wow. All right. I would consider that both potent and purified. So obviously it's near impossible for me to actually comment on every single individual track here, but I will say that that is some JoeB. That is JoeB to me. If I can remember correctly, the first one, which I still don't exactly know how to pronounce, Scheherazade, that's my best attempt. That one, Diamond Head, Being Dead, and ID. I think there was maybe one other in the middle somewhere. Those were probably my favorites for one reason or another. I think the first one and Diamond Head were some of my favorite drops. Being Dead just sounded really cool. And then ID was super unique. I think it was TWN, FDM, or Mr. Noisy. One of those two also was very unique. But it's interesting because JoeB definitely has some of the most diverse and just guttural, interesting, unique sound design. Like truly massive, big sounds. It's crazy. And you can admire what he does on a production level and on it's a showcase. It's a treat for your ears. Like it's cool to take it in and listen to it and admire what it's doing. But very few of his songs can I actually just listen to for pure enjoyment. I listen to it for like a different reason. Just be like, oh, that's really cool that he did that. Or that was really cool sound design. Or I can admire it from a technical standpoint, but not just, yeah, I'm going to jam out to a JoeB track. I think it's almost too much of just like a sound design technicality showcase rather than this cohesive piece of music. And it's really hard to describe as to why. And maybe that's not something others feel. Maybe that is a uniquely me thing. I don't know. And like I said, it's kind of hard to put it into words, but there's not that many JoeB songs that like I put on frequently just to purely listen to. A lot of times I just want to admire a piece of it, or just like he impresses me so much with all of his music, but at the same time, it doesn't click in a way that's, I don't know, that makes me want to continue listening to it and enjoying it casually. Because I think it's just like too chaotic, too mechanical, I genuinely don't know how to describe it. It's super impressive stuff. It's super cool. It's super unique. It's definitely a JoeB thing. Like JoeB's music sounds like JoeB. He has genuinely made his own type of sound. He's established a sound, almost his own genre. He's in his own little sphere over here doing his JoeB thing. And that is super cool and super admirable and super impressive. But at the same time, it doesn't usually click with me in a casual way. Even if I were to hear it live, like if it was, a full 30-minute, hour-long set of this type of stuff, like, I don't know, what would I do after a while? I can only be impressed with the sounds themselves for so long because it's hard to like follow. It's not really a song you're like headbanging to. You're just kind of like, oh, that's cool. You're just doing the stank face for a while and taking it in, but not like, yeah, or at least I'm not. And those are two distinct moods. Taking in sounds and trying to parse what's happening and enjoying the sound design and what is being done from a technical standpoint is an enjoyable thing, but that is separate from actually listening to and enjoying music in a music way, in a jamming out, cranking it up, enjoying myself way. It is different, and JoeB's music falls into one category and not the other, usually, for me. So this was a super, super impressive showcase. But at the same time, assuming these were all full-length tracks and released where I could go to each one of them, there's probably only maybe 2 I could actually see myself putting into a playlist, even though almost all of them impressed me in some way. I also feel like only 1 or 2 of them stood out from JoeB's catalog. Like JoeB's music is its own thing. I think JoeB's catalog stands out from everyone else's catalog, but I feel like a lot of JoeB's songs don't stand out from one another at times. I feel like a lot of his music can kind of give off a very similar tonality to it. A lot of these used very similar approaches, similar structured synths, and so it all sounds very JoeB, but they kind of all start to mesh together, other than some that do genuinely stand out, like ID, like TWN, etc., that were doing unique things. I would like to see, for instance, when Space Laces does the voltage mixes, I feel like the range of genres, the range of sounds is much more vast. Both are very technically impressive. Both are doing very unique things. But I think the range in which a voltage mix covers compared to a potent and purified mix, I feel like the box is smaller. I feel like the radius of sound that we're getting is much smaller, even if what's in that radius is incredible and very unique in itself. I feel like it starts to kind of blend together into one big mass. I don't want to compare him to Murata, because Murata is making mediocre music a lot of times at this point, and I still find this to be much more engaging than some of Murata's bland releases at times. But it's getting to the point where it's like Murata, when he releases something that sounds very like typical for Murata, it's still Murata, but it sounds very generic for Murata's catalog. And I feel like JoeB could get to that point where like, this is incredibly impressive. It sounds like JoeB. This is like nothing I've ever heard before other than other JoeB songs. And it just starts to sound like other JoeB songs. And I don't want that to be the case. So this is impressive, but I'm worried if things start to get too samey and he falls too deep into the trap of this is my sound and I'm sticking to it. So I'm hoping we get more of that diversity where there were a few standouts that were a little more unique, a little more diverse for JoeB. I feel like I've been rambling for a long time. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. Hopefully any of that made sense. I feel like some of the longest I've talked compared to what I reacted to. But anyway, what did you guys think? What did you think of Potent and Purified? What do you think of JoeB? Did anything I just said make any sense? Do you agree with anything I said? Am I just talking out of my ass? I don't really know. I need to just stop. That was good enough. I enjoyed that. It was really cool to go through. I hope some of those get some releases, and maybe I'll go back through it again just to take it in a second time because it was overwhelming. There's a lot happening. But anyway, thank you so much for your support as always. always, a big shout out to my patrons as well. A big shout out to my absolute tune, Will Vegas. I really do appreciate your support. It really means the world to me. If you're interested in early access to my videos, uncut versions of my reactions, and bonus content every single month, consider supporting me on Patreon. Links in the description. Other than that, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and keep on jamming out, my dudes. Peace.